Hey guys, I think we're here. I don't know if anybody is here yet. Um, I am. Oh, what did I do? Okay. I'm still learning how to do this and trying to figure it all out. Um, but I do have a comment tracker set up. So hopefully, if you make comments, I should be able to see them, although I don't know how delayed it's going to be because it's all new to me. And yeah, I'm glad that you guys are joining. I might follow along on my phone some too, so that I don't have too many screens open on my computer, so that I can figure some of this out. And thanks to Pepper for helping me get some of this stuff figured out and set up. And yeah, so tonight we're mostly going to meet each other a little bit, hopefully cover some of the logistics of how this is going to work, because this is not a typical way to do a Bible study, and I don't know how many of you are familiar with Hangouts and how many of you this is new to. So yeah, that's what we're going to do. And first of all, any of you guys that have cameras on your webcams that would like to join in on the video portion, I think we can have up to 10 people in the video, and that might be a bit much. We can play around with the numbers and see. But if you want to be a part of the video and sharing and joining together that way, we can do that. Or if you just don't want to be in, and you can do that whether you have a YouTube channel or not. You just have to have your camera, your webcam. And also, anybody, of course, can join in the comments below. And after we have the study each week, I will post the video like any of my other videos. I think you might have to go to events if you go to my channel and you go to events rather than videos, and you should be able to play it back later then and continue to join in the comments, which I will read and we can use in the next week's discussion, and we can continue to carry on the discussion throughout the week in the comments below, basically, which I think would be really fun and really cool. I'm not seeing that anyone's here yet. I don't know if this is a bad time, too. I know that that could be a problem. Let me look at my phone and see if I'm seeing anybody here on YouTube. So let me see what I'm seeing here. But basically, what I hope that we can accomplish in this time is that once we come to the Hangout, we'll have a little bit of time to kind of check in, give everybody a chance to join the Hangout, give everybody a chance to get here, because I know clocks are a little different. Sometimes people run a little late, and just kind of share a little bit about how you're doing, how your week's been, where you're at, a little bit of chit-chat. Once we've done that for a little bit and kind of gotten into the way of things, we can share a little bit from what we've been learning throughout the week, or thoughts that we've had from the Hangout from last week, anything like that. And then I think we can take time to kind of dive in. And my hope is that we can kind of wrap up the discussion and wrap up the study and the reading at about, I don't know, 8:45, 8:50-ish. We'll kind of play with the times. And that'll give us a time to take prayer requests and praises and then pray with each other. And then that will conclude the Hangout each week. So the idea is that I want it to be as much like a Bible study in your living room as possible. Because if you're like me, you can't get out of the house very often. It's after, this late at night, I can't leave because my kids are sleeping, and it's really late for me to get out and drive somewhere and be back. I'm really tired. I am not good at staying up late. So also, it's hard to get out during the day and to do Bible study with the kids there. It's just hard to really focus on what you're doing. But I think that this is so important for us to be connecting with each other spiritually, to be encouraging each other, to be praying for each other, to be studying together. So, yeah, I think I'm getting a ding. Let's see, what does the ding mean? Does that mean that somebody's here? Maybe somebody's here. No, it says I have 0 viewers, so I'm not sure. I'm not sure what the ding just meant. Maybe it wasn't from my phone. It was from my phone. That's where the ding was. Oh, wow. So, yeah, that's kind of what I have in mind. But again, this time is kind of flexible. For me, the best time is Eastern time, either 8 to 9, 7:30 to 8:30. It's kind of pushing it, but that'll do it. I could do 8:30 to 9:30 or even 9 to 10 Eastern time if I needed to, but that's really pushing it on the late end for me. I really would, but I could do that. I could do that. So if this time is really bad for you, but you want to be a part of this, let me know in the comments below what times are going to work for you, because I don't want to be here all by myself. That's no fun. That's no good. So I know that there were some people that had been very interested in doing. I'm trying to look at things on here too. It says I have no viewers down here, but I don't know if that's the same on here. But what's I saying? Yeah, there was one person that expressed an interest in doing it, studying Proverbs 31. I think there was someone else who, maybe another person who mentioned that, or another person who liked that that comment. So I don't know if I gotta stop messing with my hair. Sorry, guys. I don't know if that is something that you guys are interested in, or if there's something else. I think it'd be kind of neat if we picked a book of the Bible to study rather than just one chapter, so that we could do it for several weeks. But again, I'm very flexible. But along the lines of Proverbs 31, just so that we can go ahead here. I know I'm just kind of talking to the camera at this point, and I'm hoping people join us, but I'm still trying to see where I can see what's going on here. But I'm just going to leave that alone. I don't think it's really helping me. But along the lines of the Proverbs 31 woman, I did, several years ago, I did a blog post on this. For me personally, this topic, along with studying the fruits of the Spirit, can cause a little frustration for me. And I'm not saying that's a good thing. I'm just being real. I think I used to be really excited about them and focus on them and study on them, but one day it dawned on me, like with the fruit of the Spirit, for example, that oftentimes I would look at reading the fruit of the Spirit and say, oh, I'm not patient, oh, I'm not kind, I'm not loving. I need to have more of these things. And so I would try to be more kind, and try to be more loving, and try to be more patient, and really, really strive for the fruits of the Spirit. But then one day it dawned on me that I was completely missing the point. And the fruit of the Spirit isn't for me to look at and say, hey, I do not have patience. I need to work my tail off and get patience. That's not the point. The point is to say, okay, I'm not exhibiting these fruits. So what is this telling me that I'm missing in my life? That's telling me I'm missing the Spirit, and I need to go back to spending more time with God. I need to connect with Him. And by spending time with Him, I don't mean that it's this necessarily like, oh, I have to go spend X amount of time studying my Bible. It's no, I need to be allowing more time. It could be while I'm doing other things, but connecting with the Holy Spirit. I need to allow Him into my heart fully so that He can work this in my life. Because He's the only one that can make those changes. I can't make those changes in me. I have to work with Him, but He's the only one that can make those changes. And I discovered a same kind of thing with the woman of Proverbs 31. It was funny, I was just talking to Pepper before the hangout, and we were talking about how this woman in Proverbs 31 is a fictitious woman. This is a woman, Solomon is talking to his son about, King Solomon's talking to his son about the future wife that he should have. And so this is a hypothetical person. So this would be like you if you're single, or you before you were married, or you pre-whenever, when you made a list of, okay, these are all the qualities that I would like in a man. And that's what this list is. So that person, someone, there might not be someone that fits every single one of those exactly. But this is the list, this ideal painting that you're making of someone. But I think when we read this, oh, hi, there's Pepper. But I think when we read this, there's some key principles that we can pull out that we see that are important, like diligence and hard work, care for family, someone who knows how to and values stewardship and compassion and wisdom and fear of the Lord. And I think that focusing on those things and wanting the Holy Spirit to work those things in our lives is really going to be the best. I think you're the only one here, Pepper, right now. But I'm glad you came.
That's okay.
I don't know if people forgot or if it's a bad time or what, but I figure I'll stay on here at least until 9 and at least blabber and babble some around. But now I'm not going to have to do that because I'm not. So, because I don't know if people are coming late. I might just continue it later. I don't know.
You should always try it out and see, and if you can see like when people join, you know, that will help you out, figure out if that's maybe a better time.
Right. It's saying I have 2 viewers now, so I don't know if someone can comment or what.
Yeah, you might have another viewer. So, and another nice thing about it is you'll have it for your channel, and people can watch it. And
and that's what I'm trying to do, just kind of explain how things are going to work and what to kind of expect in doing this. Because I think it might be useful. Hopefully someone can come and at least see and I don't know. So I don't see. I see we have a second viewer and the person's coming and going, but I don't know if you could say hi in the comments. Then and you could join us. So that would be great. But I don't know who you are because I just know that you're a viewer right now. But what about you? Let's introduce everyone, because I don't. What channel? What's your channel on YouTube?
my channel is Pepper Scraps. It'll say my name on it because it'll say Pepper Ferguson, but my actual channel name, what I call it, is Pepper Scraps.
So do you like to scrapbook?
No. I used to a long time ago before kids, but it's more like pieces of my life.
That's cool. That's cool. I like that. And I'm obviously, you know, my channel is still Red Bear. That's silly. I shouldn't say that this is my channel. People know that's my channel, or else they wouldn't be here.
Well, you'd be surprised at how many people will actually come and watch something. And it, you know, actually, Jindy is one of the ladies in the YouTube Mommy Meetup, and I used to connect with her a long time ago, years ago. And she was always talking about how you always introduce yourself, because you never know if you have new people joining you.
Well, we do have some people I see in the comments. Leah is here watching us. So hi, Leah. And Don C. I don't know what channel Don C is. It says Leah Raising Bushes and Don C. So I don't know if that's your channel or your name, but it's good to have you guys here. And I guess for this time, I can probably repeat myself a few times. And just people who watch it later, I'm sorry, you're going to hear repetitiveness, I guess. So, because before I was just talking to myself and filling yourself. But what I was saying is that hopefully the way that this will work is people can join via video, like, oh cool, how'd you do that? Pepper just put her thing on the screen. Yeah, anyway. But you can either join via video and we can talk that way, or you can join via comments. And as I was saying earlier, is that you do not have to have a YouTube channel in order to join on the Hangout via video. You just have to have to comment, I think you have to have a Google Plus account. You have to have a Google account. But anybody's welcome to join via video. If you want to do that, let me know so that I can go ahead of time and do that. There's a set number of spaces, so we would have to rotate that out or play with it and see how it works. But otherwise, the goal is that probably the first 10 minutes really let people get on, chit-chat with each other a little bit, kind of share how our weeks been. I guess 2 weeks. There's 2 weeks in between the studies, kind of catch up a little bit. And then we will take some time to share any reflections that we've had specific to what we're studying, anything that kind of struck us between the study time and this next study time. And then we'll take some time to dig in and study the Word together, just read things and share. We'll probably do where we'll read a few verses and just talk about it and discuss it and share in kind of an open way. And then we'll try and end the study at about 8:45, 8:50, and take some time for any prayer requests. They can be, because of the setting, I know it's probably going to be more general requests and not really specific, but whatever you feel comfortable sharing or not sharing, so we can know what to be praising God for, thanking God for, and what to be praying for you specifically throughout the week. And that's kind of the format, I think, the way that it's going to work. And like I was saying before, there was one person that had suggested Proverbs 31, which is why I was rambling about that earlier. And we could definitely, oh, okay, let's see. Leah says that she wants to join the video next time. Awesome. Yeah, crazy kids make it hard to hear sometimes too. Yeah, I was just telling Pepper today that Samuel's been absolutely crazy running around, and he slipped on the floor, and he's gonna have a huge bruise all over his face, I think, in his eye, right there. It cut right up to the edge of his eye. So I think his eye's okay, but it's a mess. I think it's just like the skin busted or something, because he didn't like hit anything. It's really weird. But anyway, I'm getting distracted. So yes, what was I saying? Yeah. Oh, Proverbs 31, that's what I was talking about. But I was saying that I think it might be nice if we could come up with a book of the Bible or something a little bit more expansive. I don't know if there's anything that you guys have in mind that you want to share that you might like to study or dive into that might last over several weeks.
I was gonna say, do you use a regular Bible, or do you use an app?
I am a pen and paper girl. I can use apps, but it doesn't work as well. So this is my best with lots of notes. I'm a very consistent learner. So I write notes, I highlight, I underline, the whole 9 yards.
Because I'm a very app person, more because, you know, running around with kids and stuff, I found that having a book, I couldn't actually, like, read ever. So, but I found if I had it on my phone, I could have it with me at any time. So anytime I had, like, a tidbit of time, I could stop and read it.
That's awesome, yeah. That's how my husband is. He likes his on his app. But I find when I have my Bible on my phone, I tend to read it like I do a lot of other things on my phone and just kind of skim it and not really, like, I have a hard time just really focusing on what I'm reading. So I tend to, and I have to take notes. As you notice, I talk with my hands. I talk with my hands. I'm a very kinesthetic person. So I've tried. I don't even do well with Kindle books. Like, I can't do it.
I can understand that. Everybody learns differently, so you know, it's like the whole doodling while you're listening to someone speak. You know, you have to have that motion,
yeah,
and stuff to actually have it sink in. So I can understand that.
Yeah.
Because I was gonna say the YouVersion app actually has like studies and stuff that you can do too, which is kind of cool. So that would be a place that, you know, you could always look for like study ideas. Is they have like tons of studies that you can actually download. Like they have even a year through the Bible, which I'm on year 2 of trying to get through that one, right?
yeah, that one's tough, especially this stage of life. Like I always talk about when I was in high school, I had a job and I got to pick my hours. It was like a bunch of shifts. It was the desk worker at the door. And I was the charge desk worker, the head desk worker, so I could pick my shifts. And everybody thought I was crazy because I picked a 4 a.m. to 8 a.m. shift. But I liked it because I could get up and spend 2 solid hours like studying the Bible. reading scripture and prayer journaling and all of that, and like, when else in your life are you going to have that opportunity? And so now every time I'm like, oh, but I need my 2 hours. I need my 2 hours, and Arlen's like, Laura, 2 hours. Like, it doesn't work that way anymore. And so I've really been adjusting to that amount of time, like dwindling more and more and more and more over the course of the last few years and becoming a mommy. But it's been kind of a neat journey too, because I've learned a lot that you can still have a really close and really good relationship with God, even if you're not spending that 2 hours every day studying, kind of like in a marriage or whatever else. You know, like Arlen and I don't get near the date time that we got before, but we still love each other just as much. And our relationship has changed a little bit, but that doesn't mean that it's less of a relationship. That's been helpful for me.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting how your life changes, and then like things, like everything changes around that and stuff. But yeah, just even getting, sometimes you get to a point where you're like, you can only get 10 minutes in, but even if you can get that 10 minutes in,
it makes a difference. Just making that connection, like stopping and making that connection.
Yeah.
Makes a big difference.
What's a really good book? Have you read 1,000 Gifts?
I started it, like I got the preview on the Kindle, but I never got the actual book.
Well, I'll warn you, it is a hard read.
Mm-hmm.
And because she writes in prose, right? She's very flowery in how she writes. And so it can be very hard to read, especially if you're a very lenticular kind of person. But like the whole mindset behind it is pretty amazing. So, you know, and it talks about like, you know, the whole idea behind it is, you know, taking those moments in the day and like realizing what a blessing they are.
Right.
You know, like, and you know, that's that connection again, right? Like finding the mundane things that are in your life and finding how that connects.
Yeah. Well, and it's neat having kids too, because there's all these opportunities that come up for you to like explain like spiritual things and questions they have, and making those little connections too has been huge for me. Like my toddler has, well, Samuel had it. We used it with him, but now we're using it with my toddler. But he's got this little daily devotional book. And Arlen and I would read that to Samuel when he was little. Every day we'd read that with him. And we would look at each other and we're like, this isn't for him. This is for us. This is not for him. This is for us. We would get so much, and it's just short. It's like 3 sentences in a Bible verse. But we would just get so much out of it. And now, too, with Samuel starting to ask a lot of questions all the time about why things are the way they are and what happened with Jesus. We were in he went with me to a doctor's appointment the other day, and it's at a Catholic hospital, and they have a crucifix in every room of their hospital. And he saw that. Is that Jesus on the cross? Why did he have to be on the cross? Why are his eyes closed? Like, why did he have to die? And just all these questions, and just making you stop and think, and like, he wants to stop and pray about this or that, or talk to Jesus about this, and it's really cool. Like, it makes you
yeah. No, I know. Isn't that like, I love the questions. Like, the questions, like, and then it makes you start thinking, wait, I've never even, like, thought that through. I have to take a second and think that through and to answer you.
Exactly. And how do I even begin to describe this? Like, in my mind, I'm just saying, well, it just is. It just is. But there's more to it than that, and it's kind of cool.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
So,
and the relationship and stuff too.
Oh wow, I just got tons of comments. Oh my goodness. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna read through them. Lady said she loves Proverbs 31, and that there's a Proverbs 31 study from Large Family Logistics books that she wants to start again. That's of course, Samuel. Hope you feel better. I actually wake up really bad. I don't know. Dawn C. Her daughter has a cough and weird. Oh, so it doesn't work for video. But Dawn is not. Would you want to join the video sometime? And I hope your little girl feels better soon too. But if you want to, just definitely like yeah, I'd be happy to have you sometime. Leah likes a physical Bible too. Dawn says she's a physical Bible person. And she gets distracted if she uses it on her phone and ends up looking at email and stuff. Yeah, that's a problem. But it's cool that we do have all these options though for so many learning styles. Because like I said, for my husband, he does everything on the computer or his phone, everything. And we always have this struggle because for our family calendar, I like a physical family calendar that I can write in and change and do all this stuff too. But he likes his on the computer, and so he's always trying to get me to do it on the computer so we can share. And I'm always trying to get him to look at the calendar we have on the wall. And so it's quite amusing. But I think I put the important stuff on the electronic calendar, and then I know I can put the heat that's been a good compromise. But it's good that we have that option. So let's see. I don't know how to. Do you know how to make the comment thing up, or does it just automatically just push a bunch through?
I haven't used it in a while, and I don't have the URL for the YouTube. If you put it in the chat, I can see what it looks like.
Let's see. This is just on the comment tracker here. I'm just kind of getting it every
few minutes. I know that's hard because I was having troubles with that with the event last night, right? The YouTube Mommy Meetup.
Yeah.
Party.
Yeah.
It was they were having troubles with it getting really slow to them.
I wonder if that's just it, if it's just taking a while to come
stream through. Yeah.
So I'll just keep watching, but excuse me, that'll be an interesting dynamic with the Bible study because I don't want to miss people's comments, but excuse me, I don't know what's going on. But I want to make sure that
that's why it's sometimes nice to have a host and then you have a co-host. I've done that a lot when I do hangouts. Is you have one person that kind of just watches the comments and stuff. And there's actually when you do a hangout on air, there's actually a way to set it up so that it's a Q&A, and then you can even show the comments.
Oh,
and that's really cool too. But I've never done a Q&A. I've always wanted to do one, but I've never had anyone to hook up with and play with it and try it out.
I remember seeing that option at some point, and that's at the beginning when you're starting it, right?
Yes. It's when you're first turning it on. It's one of the options.
Okay, we'll have to try that next time and see how that works.
Yeah, that might be. Yeah, it'd be. I've seen people use it, and it seems to work pretty well. And then, you can highlight questions as they're coming up, too, so you, remember to go back to them and answer the questions.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, that would be really good, especially for this, because everything's kind of delayed, but I don't know what people have to a Bible study together. I don't want to...
Yeah, and then you can have it on your tablet. I was on a live stream with somebody else's channel, and they had their kids, because their kids are older, their kids on their phones pulling up the comments because for some reason they were coming up faster on their phones than on the web for them. So he was missing all the comments, but they finally figured out if they had one of the phones going and the kids were watching it, then it would pull up.
That makes sense. Now, it's jumping back and forth between the two of us. Do you know why it's doing that?
Oh, so when you do a hangout, you have control of the whole thing.
Okay.
And if you click on one person, it will only video that one person.
Okay.
And if you have everybody unclicked, then it'll only record the person that's talking.
Got it. That's cool.
And that's why a lot of people mute. So you'll catch me muting throughout the whole thing, and that's because my kids are in the background and I don't want it to catch them talking while you're talking. And so that's why another reason it's kind of nice to have a co-host is if you have them start it, then they can do that for you. But it always records to whoever's channel it is.
Okay.
So whoever starts it, it records to their channel.
That makes sense. That makes sense. Okay.
Yeah. So like when I used to do it for, a blogging group, I would log into all their stuff and use their page to do the Hangout so that it went to their YouTube channel. But I was controlling who was getting videoed. I was controlling, kind of staying in the background, kind of watching comments and stuff, and then letting them kind of lead. But I'd pop in every so often and let them know this person has a question, this person doesn't, things like that.
Okay. Awesome. That makes a lot of sense.
So this is like going to be like your learn how to do a Hangout on Air video too, right? Like
yeah, exactly. All the troubleshooting questions, we'll get them here. You can get all this stuff in one place. But yeah, I figured tonight, unfortunately, that we probably wouldn't do much Bible study because I didn't know how many people were going to come. I figured that there would be, because I know there's probably some of the stuff that you can't figure out until you actually just get on and are doing it, which is what I'm discovering. But I think next time we should be able to do it, and hopefully, I don't know, between now and then, and I might this evening, if you guys have comments or have preferences, we can nail down something and maybe to look at a little bit ahead of time. And if we don't this evening, I'll put it when I post I'll try and post the Hangout like schedule it a little bit in advance, and I'll put in the comments what we will be looking at. And I kind of want to make it so that if people are able to study it ahead, that's great. They can have extra stuff to bring that like they thought about. But if they're not able to study it ahead and they're just jumping in, like I don't want anybody to feel left out either. Like, oh, I didn't study this, I can't participate, because we're all moms and we all know what things can be like. So I just kind of really want to make it as open as possible for that.
Yeah, I think that's really important with Bible studies. Like, a lot of people think that if they didn't read it, then they shouldn't come, but you'll get so much from it. Like, and you never know. You might have something that you're meant to say just from what other people are saying, and it may have a huge impact on people. So you have to think about,
The Holy Spirit works beyond our limits.
Yeah. So even if you didn't read it, just come and enjoy companionship too.
Yeah, definitely. And I think that's something too that's really hard, especially moms with little kids. Like, it's hard to get, like, it just feels so like antisocial sometimes because everything has to be revolved around nap schedules, or with older kids, like musical instruments or whatever kind of extra activities they have going on. And it's so much that even if you see people, like, it's just so quick and in passing, and it's not really a deep connection that you're getting with them. It's just kind of a, oh, hi, hello, let's chit-chat for a minute, and okay, I gotta run, I'm out of here.
Yeah, that connection thing, it's hard. Like, I'm finally, my youngest is finally going into school, so I've had, 7 years of having kids in my house, and always having to know what I'm going to be doing for them or with them for anything that I do, and you do kind of lose that connection with other people.
Yeah, it's hard, and it's tough. So I think hopefully this will be a place that we can do that, and it is kind of weird because anybody technically can come on here and but at the same time, I think it's kind of good that way, because even too, like, there's some people who really like to be around people like hi, and so these people can like hang out in the comments and just read and still hopefully be a part of this, and as you get more comfortable, maybe even share with us and let us get to know you some too, and encourage you and everything. I think for me personally, and just so that you guys can know too, I mean, I'm going to be hosting this, and I do talk some about spiritual things on my channel, but I haven't been posting as much as I used to, and I don't know how many of you are newer subscribers, but I feel like a big part of our job, quote unquote, as Christians is to, I mean, we see it all over in Acts, is to encourage each other and uplift each other on our spiritual journeys. And I think something that I have come to discover over the years, and just embrace more and more is that everybody's journey is so different. And I think I used to be one of those people who was black and white, like this is how it needs to be and this is how it's going to look and this is what we should all be striving for. But what I'm learning is that God doesn't work the same way that we work. And so our key thing is to just be each other's cheerleaders and encourage each other to listen to what it is that God is asking each one of us individually to do, and to encourage each other to grow in those areas. And there are times when we know someone really well, or if God has given us a gift of, say, prophecy or one of those things, which I'm so glad I don't have, because I don't like it when people are not happy with me, and I think a lot of people are not happy with people who have that gift. But there may be a time when you know someone specifically where God is asking you to say, hey, can you say something to this person? But I think the biggest thing that we can do is encourage each other, and like I said, just really say, like, how can you be listening to God? How can you be growing in God? What can I do to come along beside you to help you to do that? And just encourage each other, I guess. I don't know, I'm saying the same thing over and over again, but that's where I come from. Where I sit, and I know everybody has a little different place that they are from, and just really continually pointing each other back to Christ, because that's what it's all about. It's all about the gospel, all about what He has done on the cross, all about what He is doing in our lives, and all about what He's going to do when He comes again. And that, to me, is kind of what ignites my spiritual passion, I guess you could say. So that's kind of some of what my goal is in this hangout and in these Bible studies that we have together, is that encouragement and that community together. So I think at this point we still have 2 viewers, but it's not up and down, so I don't know if these are the same viewers. It hasn't updated for me in a while. So if you're here, keep commenting. I will see it at some point, I'm sure, because it does update. Like it'll update in these big, huge batches. So yeah, I'd love to hear from you. I think probably I might wrap up a little bit early tonight, and maybe let's see. Let me see if I can leave us with something. Looking for something particular. Oh, I think we lost Pepper. Oh no! Where did you go? But I think we'll probably wrap up just a little bit early. And I think, just in light of what I was saying, I know that, I guess this is just a thought we can kind of leave with. And then for any of you here, even like I said, even if this posts up late, we can do it. But one of my favorite chapters of the Bible is Galatians 3. And the first 2 verses are, therefore, if you have been raised with Christ, keep where Christ is, seated at the right hand of God. Set your mind on things above, not things on the earth. And I think that, especially as moms, this is so key to what our job is. It's so easy for us to get caught up in the dishes that need washed, or the things around the house, or the busy schedules, or all the things that can consume our time and can consume our energy and can consume our thoughts. There's so many things, and some of these things are good. I mean, we love our families, we love our kids, we want to give them our time and our thoughts and what we have, but it's so easy to get lost in those things. And so I guess what I'll try and do, what I'll make my goal be for the next few weeks, is to really work on setting my mind on heavenly things. And I think for me, practically, one thing that this might mean, a lot of times when I used to, before all of this social networking and media and crazy vast amounts of things available in the online world, is I used to go to God first for things, but now I find myself, if I'm having a trouble like parenting issue or any kind of thing, rather than going to God first and seeking Him and seeking the things above and the wisdom from above, I Google it. I try to see what the experts say. I try to see what these opinions are, what this group says, and I think that I really need to get back to the place where I'm seeking God first. Not that the experts are, that I should never consult the experts, but that I need to be seeking the ultimate expert first as my first action, not as a, okay, none of this is any good, so now let me go to you kind of a thing. Does that make sense? I don't know. But, I don't know, that's just a little something that maybe we can, again, that was from Colossians 3, verses 1 and 2. And I don't know, Pepper, since we're the only ones here that I see, I'm not seeing people on comments right now. Is there something particular, like, is this a verse that you can get something, a passage you can get something from, or is there something specific that you want to share that you can get, are enjoying, or just something you want to share with everyone here that is seeing this now, or will see this later?
I'm sorry, I missed half of the passage, so I didn't see which passage you did. So, but I did. I was listening to you talk about the things of this world and stuff, and you know, that's pretty deep. You could probably do a lot on that one, especially. I think, I don't know, and maybe it's the area that I live in and things. I live in an area where people, that's their big things, is the things of the world. And so it's hard living in this area and having people that are that way. I don't fit in. I don't, you know. But, you know, especially like being part of the school and the PTA and, you know, there's like...
Yeah, that would be really hard. That would be really hard. Hey, Dawn, you're still here. Oh, and Leah's still here, too. Yay, I'm glad you guys are still here. Okay, sorry, go ahead. Yeah, that would be really hard.
Yeah, so, and, you know, that's, and for me and my husband, like, we feel like, you know, that we've been really called, because you were talking about also earlier about, like, everybody's a little bit different, like, where their path leads and stuff. And we've really noticed that a lot in the last few years because, you know, we had a family that we were part of their church that they were just starting and stuff, and then we found that we were kind of splitting off because they're going down a way different path than we are. And both paths are good, but, you know, and we're just meant to go down different paths, you know, and that's what we've been called to. And like my husband and I have been called to really be, not minister in the sense of like being out there like hitting the Bibles and really like being a big voice out there, but being a little voice. You know, being friends with the people that most people wouldn't be friends with, you know, just doing small things for them and things like that. Whereas this family, their path was to really be big voice, right? And so, and also even just raising our kids, that was a big difference. Like how they were raising their kids versus how we're raising our kids, and we're raising our kids the way that we feel that they need to be raised for what must be in their future, because we're listening to what God really wants us to focus on for them.
Right. Well, and I think that's a cool point that you just made there too. Like God is preparing each parent and each kid like for their future, and so that doesn't mean, you know, that I think sometimes people think because of the choices that we make, we're automatically judging what other people are saying or doing or not doing or whatever with their kids, and we're not. We just know that there's decisions that we've made for us very prayerfully that have nothing to do with anybody else. But anyway, I think that's important, and to be able to recognize that as Christians too, so we're not like...
Yeah. Yeah, because you know, and this is actually going to be my prayer request, is we need a new church, because we went with them and then they decided to take the church a direction that just wasn't going to work for us and how we wanted to raise our kids, because they decided to change the church from having a dynamic of having a children's church to having the kids in church. And for us, that was not going to be, that's not how we feel that our kids need to be raised, because we feel very strong that they need a really strong learning and our kids personally just need that learning on their level, you know.
Right.
And so we decided that we just couldn't stay there for, helping them with whatever God feels like, they need, because it just is not going to work. I don't know. I'm rambling now, but I think I'm getting somewhere.
Yeah. Hey, no, and it's interesting you mentioned that too, because we've had a very interesting journey with our churches over the past little bit. We started a home church, and ever since that, we had to stop because my health was so bad from the pregnancy, we just couldn't do it. And ever since then, because we've gotten so used to that dynamic in home church, we're having a really hard time, like, figuring out where we fit in and where to go church-wise from here, because it's just so different. And so we're really trying to figure out, too, exactly where we should be going and fitting and what we need to do, too. So I can very much resonate with that, because it's such an important thing, but it's just hard because there's more to it than just sitting in a pew. It's about finding a family and a community, too. So I think with that, I'm not seeing, I don't know, it's not updated anymore. I know that Don and Leah are probably posting stuff, and it's just not showing me. But our time is coming to an end. So we'll take that prayer request, and I think Dawn will definitely want to be praying for your daughter, your little girl, who's sick there. We will keep her in our prayers. And I don't know if there's anything else. My cat is back there. I don't know if you guys. If I can point to him. Okay, anyway, he's back there. But yeah, so definitely John's little girl, and definitely the church situation, and I think that's the same too. And just that I'll be able to continue to focus on, not get distracted by the things of everyday earthly things, be able to really set myself. And of course, we can pray for you too, Pepper, where you're at, because I know that that's got to be a hard thing to do there. And again, I'm just looking to make sure that there's no more comments updating so I don't miss anything. But even if you're not here now, or if you're here and I'm not seeing your comments on time, definitely leave your requests below, because I will be checking them, and people will be coming, and we can all continue to pray for that as well. I think that's about it. We might end a little early tonight. And again, if there's any ideas, I mean, I have lots of ideas, and if I need to, I'll just pick something to study. But if there's anything in particular that you guys are wanting to study, I saw Proverbs 31 again, so we might dig in there and start there next time. But if there's anything you're wanting to study, it's not really so much what I want to study, because what I want to study, I mean, it needs to play a piece in all of this. But like, if there's stuff that is really on you guys' heart that you're really wanting to look at, that's where we need to be. So yeah, just let me know, and I guess we will go ahead and prayer and close out for this evening. Updating on my channel, the next scheduled study is 2 weeks from tonight. It'll be the second and fourth Friday. Wait, is that right? Yeah, second and fourth Friday in every month. I may do one extra one in between next week, just as we're getting things kicked off and going. I haven't decided yet, but I will definitely be updating. I will put an update for sure once I figure out all the details on my channel, just a regular video to let you know what to expect over the next few weeks. So, without any further ado, why don't we go ahead and have prayer. So, I'm just going to pray. I think this is kind of seems a little weird doing this on video, but I think this is the right thing to do. So, anyway. Dear Jesus, thank you so much for being with us. Forgive me for not beginning our session with prayer tonight, inviting you to be with us. I know that is so important. And I pray that you will help me to make that a priority next time. And I just want to thank you for the ladies that we've had here tonight. Thank you for introducing me to Pepper. I had never met her before. And that Leah could join us. And for Dawn, I believe, it's hard for me to tell here, but I believe Dawn is a subscriber, and I've talked to her before. But if not, thank you for letting me meet her. And tonight we have a few specific requests that we want to lift up to you. I pray for Dawn and her little girl who is sick. Please put your healing hand on her and help her to feel better soon. And give Dawn an extra measure of strength as well, because we all know that it can be a little exhausting when we have a sick one, and not only physically, but it's hard for us to see our little ones hurting. And so I pray that you be with her as well. And I pray for Pepper as she's looking for a spiritual community to be a part of, where she can fit in, and where her family can grow in the ways that you're asking them to grow right now. And I pray that you bless their efforts as they get to know people more and share you with them on a friend-to-friend basis, where they can first see your love shining through them. And I pray as well that you give her and her family strength and fortitude as they live in an area that's very hard to stay focused on the things that are important to you. And I pray as well that you be with my family as we're continuing to look for a spiritual community to be a part of and to join with. And I pray also that you be with all of us and help us to seek you and the things that are heavenly this week, rather than to be stuck in the mire of this earth. And I just thank you so much for your love and your care. In your name, amen. All right, so this is it for tonight. I, again, would love your feedback, whether you were live with us or not, and I look forward to seeing you guys again soon. And thank you so much for all your help this evening, Pepper. I really appreciate it.